So let's go ahead and compare the Galaxy S24 with the other flagship, the Google Pixel 9. Let's see how these compare, pros and cons, and which one is the ultimate better buy. So the Galaxy S24 is the older device. It was released in January of 2024, while the Pixel 9 is a few months newer, released in August of 2024. But these are the newest flagships from Samsung and Google. Now, the one thing that I want to point out real quick is there's an advantage of size on the S24. It's overall smaller, it's shorter, and it's thinner than the Pixel 9. So overall, if you really care about a more comfortable feel of a phone in your hand and more compact, the S24 really beats out the Pixel 9. The S24 is also way more lighter compared to the Pixel 9. It is probably the most pocketable, lightweight flagship out there. Now, build quality, both of these are nice. Google Pixel 9 finally has a great build quality. Glass front, glass back on both of these with an aluminum frame. So it basically just matches what the Galaxy S24 has. Both of these have a nano SIM card slot and an eSIM, so that's nice to see. Both have IP68 dust and water resistance. Now the displays, both of these have a 120 hertz refresh rate. The overall size of the display is 6.2 inches on the S24, 6.3 on the Pixel 9, but you got a really thin bezels on the S24 on the Galaxy. Resolution, both of these have 1080p displays and both have always on displays. So next, something that really is different between these devices is the OS. Although both of these are running Android 14, the S24 is running the Samsung UI on top of Android, while Pixel 9 is rocking a stock Pixel version of Android. Both of these have 7 years of major updates. But you do have some like extra features, extra apps. The Galaxy S24 has so many endless options. Those are big advantages over the Pixel 9 if you care about, just how it feels and how to customize and its own app store and stuff like that. So that's something to think about. If you like to tinker a lot and have a lot of different options, then the S24 is a lot better in that department. Both of these have very powerful chipsets. You have a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 on the S24 and the Google Tensor G4 on the Pixel 9. These are top-notch chips, and nobody should have any issues running any of the apps out there. Although if you do have, high-end gaming, or you just multitask a lot or edit a lot of video, then these might stutter here and there. They're not perfect, but this is the best you'll get from Android. Both of these start off at 128 gigs of storage. Neither of these have a expandable SD card slot, which is kind of sad because 128 gigs is not a flagship feature anymore. For the RAM, the S24 has 8 gigs, Pixel 9 has 12 gigs. So if you multitask a lot, switch between a lot of power-hungry apps, Pixel 9 might be a better option, but I don't see too much of a difference between 8 gigs and 12 gigs. Next, let's talk about the cameras. You have 3 cameras on the S24 versus 2 on the Pixel 9. The S24 has that extra telephoto lens apart from the main camera and the ultra-wide. That's the difference between that and the Pixel 9. The Pixel 9 only has the main camera and the ultra-wide. There's no telephoto zoom. And also the S24 it could shoot up to 8K versus 4K on the Pixel 9. But if you ask me, I still think that the Pixel 9 is the best Android camera out there. Very nice. Google puts a lot of effort into AI and software to make photos just look really good. But the S24 is no slouch, and if you like to zoom in a lot, then the S24 is a better option right there. So you're basically getting that extra camera compared to the Pixel 9. Both the selfie cameras on here shoot in 4K. Neither of these have a headphone jack. Both of them are rocking Bluetooth 5.3. Both have NFC, so no real difference there. Both of these have under the display fingerprint readers and both now have ultrasonic, something that's new on the Pixel 9 versus optical. A little extra, the S24 has Samsung DeX, which if you want to use the phone as a desktop experience, that's what you got on the S24. You don't get that on the Pixel 9. For battery, this is where we have a big difference here, I think. The S24 has a kind of smallish, or very smallish, 4,000 milliamp battery compared to the 4,700 milliamp battery on the Pixel 9. Both of these have semi-fast charging, 25 watts, Samsung 27, Google, but both will charge around 50% in 30 minutes, and both have wireless charging and reverse wireless charging. But the biggest difference here, honestly, is that small S24 battery. Now, the standard, I think, should be 5,000. That's what, even on cheaper Android phones, 5,000 milliamp battery is the standard. But yeah, the 4,000 is super, super small. This is not going to matter too much if you have your phone in your pocket and it's not really consuming a lot of screen time battery. But if you use your phone a lot with the screen on, then that's where you're going to find the difference. So you got an advantage here in the battery department on the Pixel 9. And finally, we have the price. The S24 has been out for a while, and prices have gone down in the used third-party market. You can get a nice mint used one for around $400 to $500. And also the Pixel 9, it can be found for some deals too, for $400, as low as $400 on prepaid. But its regular price of $800 is too much. Also, the Galaxy S24 brand new is $800. So both of these are $800. It just depends on what price you should get them. But definitely, if you don't mind a used phone, the S24, you could definitely find it for cheaper since it's been out for a while. And the Pixel 9, I would not get it for $800. Definitely just get it on prepaid for $400 right now on Mint Mobile, for example. Or you can get it brand new on the third-party marketplace around $500 to $600. But yeah, it's they're both $800 phones. So at the conclusion, after going through all the specs, which one's a better phone, which one's a better buy? Well, the biggest differences between these flagships, because these really are super nice flagship phones. If you wouldn't really be losing if you were to pick either of these, but there are some things that are just too hard to ignore on both of these. For example, if you're getting the S24, you're going to get that extra telephoto lens. So if you're into zooming in a lot, you're going to get that extra one. The small battery, though, on the S24 is probably the single thing that is the drawback on this device. If you're going to use the phone a lot with the screen on, then yeah, you're going to definitely you're going to be really disappointed in battery life. Now, on the other hand, the Pixel 9, it has gone up in price over the years, and now it matches the full price of the S24. But honestly, you're not getting much difference if you're upgrading from a older Pixel 8 or Pixel 7 or even a Pixel 6. You're not seeing that much improvement. And the saving grace of the Pixel 9 is probably going to be the camera quality. Unless, even though it doesn't have the telephoto lens, the camera quality is probably the best in the game, I think, with the Pixel 9. And, the S24 takes great pictures and video, but I think overall the Pixel 9 offers a lot better camera system in general. But there are some things too on the Pixel 9 that are just not up to snuff. And I think it really depends on if you like having a pure stock Android feel. That does help out with performance in some cases, and it's very snappy. But the S24 offers extra apps, extra little things here and there that are just because of having the Samsung, being a Samsung phone. You could pair it to a Samsung watch. You have DeX for the desktop experience. You have all the galleries, the timers. You have the side apps. You have the widgets where you could scroll through them. You have the Samsung Kids app if you want to hand it off to your kid. So there are some things that are extra if you don't mind the Samsung UI experience. I think that's a clear advantage on the Pixel 9. But that battery really kills it on the S24. And if you could find it for cheaper, maybe you could live with that. But 4,000 is just super small. So that's the biggest thing. Do you want an expensive Pixel 9 with a great camera and a stock Android? Or do you want the smallish battery on the S24, but you have all the extras with Samsung and that extra telephoto lens? So let me know what you guys think.